This is going to be a very quick video. Well, it's an audio recording, that's why the screen is black. I'm not using the software I'm used to anymore. Though to my laptop, well, my laptop is dead now, it just wouldn't start anymore. So now I have to make audio recordings this way. But anyway, in this short audio recording, I want to remind you of something. I may have said it before, but for newcomers to this channel or for those that have been watching my videos for a while, I need you to remember this. Just because something is approved, permitted, promoted, and even defended by a majority, even if that majority is even if that majority contains believers, that does not mean it's healthy, it's right, or even beneficial. Okay? Remember what I said about the mental equilibrium, or other words for a mental equilibrium are society, the status quo, or as the Bible calls it, bondage. Now look, whenever you're moving away from the mental equilibrium, you are becoming the target of attacks. Why? Let me give a quick example. This may be a very weird example, but I'm going to give it. Let's say you're from a town where it's normal for children to be targeted and beaten by their parents. Not only when they're small, but also when they're in their late teenage years and when they're in their early 20s. It's normal for their parents, also their other older relatives, to just act out against them. Let's say this is the pattern in a town. And because of that, in that town, you have a lot of people that are using drugs, due to the mental damage of all the screaming against them. But let's say this has been going on for 2 or 3 generations. It has become so common that people don't notice that there's something wrong over there. Those people are unconscious, they are in darkness. But let's say now you have one victim of that community who's also participating in lashing out against others. One day, he's not distracted anymore by his daily activities, and now he begins to realize, hold on a minute, why are people screaming like that against small children over here? Why are people who are supposed to be your family members, why are they so violent towards one another over here? And you begin to notice, hold on a minute, what is this? And what happens now is that that individual has become conscious. There's still darkness, but he's beginning to notice things. Let's say that individual, he's not a believer, he decides, okay, the next time his parents or his uncles try to verbally go out against them, he stops them, he makes clear to them, I'm not taking this. And he's making clear to everyone, if you can't deal with me in a healthy fashion, in a healthy manner, then don't deal with me at all. Soon afterwards, he's fired from his job. He becomes unemployed. While being unemployed, he can receive welfare from the state, but the people he used to hang out with don't want to hang out with him anymore. Now people look at him strangely. Now he has now become an unwelcome individual in that town. And within 2 months, he is chased away from the town. What has happened here? This individual deviated from the mental equilibrium. And he noticed that the mental equilibrium that those people in town were stuck at was unhealthy, it was wicked. It's an unhealthy and non-beneficial, it's not beneficial at all. There's no quality in it, and there is no purpose to it. So what happens now, those other people in that town that did permit victimization upon themselves, that did suffer damage and all of that, all their excuses for allowing it to happen, all their excuses for condoning it are now destroyed. Because of that individual that deviated. Now, in the world, when you deviate from the mental equilibrium, violence is the reaction. And violence is real, violence can damage, and violence can even kill you. And most of the time, the violence is permitted and the violence is defended, even when it's obvious that the violence is violence, therefore it's wrong. We all have been through perpetrators being defended, not approved, but defended, and the victims being blamed. Well, that's the norm in the world. That's why there is this intense urge, especially among young people, to conform, to be accepted. Why? Because subconsciously they sense the danger that will come their way if they don't give in to the whatever the status quo is. So, because people want safety, they perceive situations where there isn't a threat upon them as good, as freedom. Does that make sense to you? Whenever there's a state where there is no threat made onto them, where there's no disturbance and no difficulty, they perceive that as good, as freedom. Why? Because the difficulties are not caused by them, because they, as a single individual, cannot be the cause of everything that happens around them. And let's get through you. You are not that powerful that you are the cause of everything that happens around you. You're not. However, there is this deception that people fall into when things go easy. When things go easy, it's very easy for you to think that it's all right, that you're safe, that you're on the right path. But that's where the deception begins. Just because you're not the target of violence, just because you're not noticing any disturbance around you or towards you, that does not mean you're on the right path. Look, a child molester can become the target of violence because people are upset because of the actions that he's doing. So just because you're the target of trouble, that does not mean you're on the right path either. But there is one thing you need to watch out for. Not everything that you perceive as good is good. It can be that what you perceive as light is truly darkness. Look, I didn't want to make this video long. I tried to keep it less than 15 minutes. So let me just give you another illustration here. Let's say people often want this. They want to be stuck at some pattern when everything is working well, bills are paid, at the job people are smiling at them, people are laughing with them, people that don't like them are far off from them, they don't notice it anyway. Everything happens on time, there is no struggle, there is no difficulty, there are no problems, everything is solved. That's the state many people are longing for. Now that's the unconscious state. That's darkness. I'm revealing to you why it's darkness. It's darkness because you're not living when you're in a state of an equilibrium. You're not living. And the thing is about it, it's a sterile, null, boring state of existence. Because nothing ever happens over there, so there's no development, there's no reaching out, and there's no empathy towards others. Because you're stuck. So you cannot move beyond your own emotions. That's the thing. Most people, they still, or even many believers, they still have this urge to being unconscious. And this urge to be unconscious, they see, because those believers aren't renewed in their mind, they perceive it as something good. And they will go to teachers, to preachers, and whoever that will teach them how to become unconscious. And become unconscious can be that you don't have any financial issues anymore, or that people are becoming kind to you, or it can be that you have that big house, or that you get married, and it can be, unconsciousness is often unconscious is often wrapped into a beautiful package, and we are lured by the package, by this fake promise that's contained inside the package. It's only when you receive the package that you paid for with your self-effort and with all your striving, It's only when you receive it that you will find out, whoa, this is not really what I want at all. Well, as I mentioned before, I want to keep this video short. Remember this, just because something appears good does not mean it's good. I'm not saying this to you to make you paranoid, I'm saying this for you to be alert. Test all things and retain the good. Shut up.